This is Tony Fernandes, CEO of AirAsia. 22 years ago, he bought a stagnating airline with a 10 million debt for a symbolic 20 cents from the Malaysian government. And within the first decade, Tony transformed the company into a multi-billion-dollar business and one of the biggest airline brands in the world. As we chatted, Tony shared with me how he managed to revolutionize air travel, how not to sink into depression after losing an aircraft in a horrific crash, and his biggest secret to success in life. I'm Max, an entrepreneur and YouTuber from Singapore. Let's go.
What part of you is Malaysian? What part of you is British?
I'm mostly Malaysian. I mean, my personality is Malaysian. I'm really a chameleon, you know. You put me in certain environments, I'll probably be more British. You put me in other environments, I'll be more Malaysian, right? You put me in a certain environment, I'll could be American or Australian, Middle Eastern. I'm a chameleon, but the two strongest ones are Malaysian and British. I think I adapt my personality to the people I'm dealing with.
How many languages do you speak actually?
One.
Just one, yeah. It's not very typical for Malaysia.
No, it's not. I mean, I blame my parents and my lack of ability to learn at this stage. I was sent to English school when I was 5. My parents didn't speak Malay. If there's one thing I lack in life, I think the most powerful thing for those who have kids, get them to know as many languages. Communication is the most important thing in life, full stop. Like me or hate me, I'm a communicator. I would be 10 times better if I spoke a lot of languages. So I think it's a gift that people have and I don't, and I'm the poorer for it. In many ways, I'm more English than Malaysian. Maybe that's an issue that many people have with me, and I'm outspoken. I say what I believe. My sense of humor is different, maybe. But, you know, I was given an opportunity to come to Malaysia. I given another opportunity to build a great business in Malaysia, and so Malaysia's home. You can put me anywhere in the world, I would survive.
What actually made you to move back to Malaysia?
I got a job offer. Too many Asians spend too much time analyzing and talking to their grandparents, dogs, whatever, right? I got an offer to go back to Malaysia as a young 27-year-old to be general manager. I didn't ask about the salary, I didn't ask about anything. I thought, for me, opportunity, I grab it. I'm one of those people that grab opportunities, and I grabbed it. When
you realized that you made it in life, you remember the day when it's like, oh yeah, now I know?
Maybe when I IPO'd and I bought an Aston Martin in Park Lane. I've never really thought about it. As high as you go, you can come down much faster. One of the great things about me, if there is a great thing about me, is humility. I never get carried away by, I walk out of here and 20 people will ask me for a photograph. Coming in today from the airport, random people coming up to me. You know, I bought a coffee in Paris baguette. All the staff wanted a picture of me with my clothes on. And but I'm still the same Tony. That's the greatest compliment anyone can give me. When I hear that, you're the same guy as 22 years ago. So do I think, oh, I made it, I'm not made it? What does that really mean? What is the definition of made it? But I felt cool when I bought my Aston Martin, a dream car, whether that's defined as made it or not, but I felt great.
Do you remember the biggest transfer that you have to your bank account? Like this number, it's like, wow, how many?
Yeah, I do, but I don't want to talk about it.
What was your biggest purchase in life?
Queen's Park Rangers. Formula One. Sports.
What's the deal, like the highest deal, if you can?
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. It's a sad moment. But no, I mean, you know, the biggest purchase was buying a lot of aircraft, 200 aircraft.
Yeah, but it's business. I mean, for you.
Was sports.
Yeah, sports.
I'm not someone that buys, I have one car, Tesla now. I have a couple of houses. I'm not extravagant. I don't live a rich and famous life. That's not my style. I don't post pictures of private jets and all those kind of things. But I spent a lot of money on sports. That's for sure.
How much you're worth right now?
I don't know. Actually, I really don't know.
Forbes estimated in 2020 it was $3-5 million.
I have no idea. I don't value myself on what I'm worth. I value myself on what I've achieved and what I've done for people. Now that sounds like a Miss World statement, but you know, money is material. You have it, it's nice, don't get me wrong. Yeah. It's great to have money, but it's not what makes Tony Fernandes. What makes me is going to the airport this morning, and I took a picture of myself like this. There was thousands of people. It was a happy moment for me to see AirAsia coming back and seeing humble people who never had a chance. And one person came up to me and said, thank you for surviving, because this is my dream to go to India and visit my ancestors. Money can't buy that. You know, I really value my life on changing people's lives, but I'm not someone that thinks too hard about these things. I really don't. I mean, I'm not saying this because you're asking me. You're great today, you're useless tomorrow. Who cares? No one cares about the past. It's the future.
What was the most memorable meetings and what was the best advice
Oh, wow.
for you?
One of my guy called Stephen Shrimpton, one of my first bosses. Best advice. I was 30, trying to take over the world. He said, slow down. Experience can't be bought. It just takes time. Best advice I ever got.
Is it?
By far. People are in a rush too fast sometimes. And it takes time. Makes mistakes. Be patient. You get there in the end. Aggression is important, but don't think you can change the world in one day. You can't.
AirAsia, when you bought the company for like £1, and you also, as I read, you mortgaged your house. So you were like pretty sure that it's gonna work out.
I wasn't sure at all.
You wasn't sure. So what was your decision-making process?
It wasn't. Do people want to fly cheap? Yes. Is it a product that will be successful? Absolutely. So that drove me as to all the politics and financing and national carriers. I didn't know about that, right? Maybe that would have changed my decision making. I don't think so, because I'm that kind of character that if I believe in something, just do it, right? If you fail, you fail, but at least you try. If you have conviction of an idea, just do it. Don't analyze too much on the problems. Is the product needed? Low-cost flying definitely needed. So it wasn't a big evaluation process. Truth be known.
But it's a big thing because it was a debt of $10 million.
Yeah, I didn't have much money, so if I failed, right? The thing that scared me the most was failing the 200 staff that were there. If I failed them, then that would have been a disaster because they were part of a big company that paid them every month. That was what scared me the most. Failing myself didn't bother me. Best day was actually recently when I made 2,500 people redundant. And there's an Instagram of me jumping around with my cabin crew and stuff. That was a big day for me because that was the final bunch of cabin crew who we made redundant coming back. I promised all 2,000 of them that, we will bring every single one back. And we did. That's probably my biggest highlight of my career.
Oh, really? Wow.
Talk is cheap. When you make people redundant and you say you're going to do it, you got to do it. The fact that we did it with no government support out of the worst human crisis in our generation, and probably the last 3 generations, was a proud day for me.
What was the most challenging day or moment of life?
Losing an aircraft. You're not built for that.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
I never realized as a CEO that I'd have to confront families who lost their loved ones because of me. And so that was the worst day. I mean, a close second would be COVID. But by far, losing an aircraft in Indonesia was the hardest day of my life.
You remember your feelings when you found out?
Shock, disbelief. But my style is confrontation. My style is transparency. Many people said you don't have to go to Indonesia. Stay low profile. I said, are you crazy? This is my brand. This is my staff. I owe it to the families that they know the leader of the company is there. So I didn't leave it to the Indonesian CEO. I was there for the whole event. And I mean, history will say we did a great job on a very terrible thing. There's never a great job when you lose people's lives. But we managed it as best as we could.
Did you have any depression or it was like
No, you can't have depression. You can't feel sorry for yourself. You owe it to your staff to fight. No, I never had depression. I mean, of course I was feeling I wasn't going to a club and partying. I was feeling very low.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sink into depression because that's not what your staff need. Your staff need you to stand tall, fight, and come back. And the families needed us to do that.
What do you think the features of great CEO?
Humility, communication skills, vision, energy, and resilience. Passion. You got to love what you do. Those 6 things.
Can you develop these skills?
100%. Look, I'm a pretty good speaker. Was I a great speaker day one? No. Did I need to be coached how to be a speaker? No. But practice makes you better, right? You got to have something in here, to be honest. I could have the best coaches in the world. I'll still be lousy at languages. Okay. But of course, all of those things can be developed. Except passion. You can't train someone to have passion. You either love it or don't. Yeah. So I always recommend people do businesses that they want to do.
So you should be born with passion, and the rest, the rest you can develop.
Yeah, the rest you can develop. Resilience, you can develop. You either want to be a fighter or you don't. I don't think your genes tell you that. Passion, you gotta have. But we all have passion. But if you say, Tony, do you want to own a cement factory and you'll be a billionaire? I don't. I wouldn't get interested in making cement. Okay, so I love making people fly. I love building a bank. I love doing all these things, right? So you have to have passion.
How do you learn? So do you read books? Do you buy coaching
I read a lot of magazines. Now on the internet. Do I read fiction? Do I read how to be the best manager? No.
No?
I think that's rubbish. But I read a lot of small articles. I read management articles. Anything that interests me, I read a lot. Yes, that's for sure. No one is an exclusive of ideas. I didn't make up low-cost carriers. Herb Kelleher of Southwest came up with that. Right? So I read a lot.
And do you believe in like trainings, courses,
Yes,
coaching, this kind of thing?
I do. You know, if someone said go do an MBA tomorrow, I would say it's a waste of time for me. But, you know, if someone said go and do a course, and I never believed in an MBA. That's my own, right? What is an MBA great for? Gives you and you have to work for a while before you do an MBA. Otherwise, it's just theory, right? When you can apply your knowledge to what you did at the office, then it's worth it. So my staff out there wants to do an MBA, and I said, it's going to be a waste of time. Spend 2 years with me, then do the MBA. So what is the best thing about education? One is networking. It's really good to meet people. My best friends are still from school. Second is you begin to say, oh, I know most of this anyway, right? It gives you confidence. Education gives you confidence. Do I believe in training? Absolutely, especially short courses. Go for a short course on cryptocurrency. Fantastic. Go and do a 2-year degree on cryptocurrency. I think it's overkill, right? So I 100% believe in training.
For networking, any advice how to be a better networker?
Be confident.
Be confident with people.
I'm actually a shy person. People don't believe it, right? It's only recently I can step out and say, hi, I'm Tony, and I introduce myself. And it's easier now because...
Now people know you.
Yeah,
they approach you.
It's easier now. So it's harder when you're nobody, right? And I'm actually quite shy. Be confident. What can they do? Say no to you.
Yeah.
So approach. I've seen many young people. Yeah. The difference between an average and a great person is their confidence in their ability. Don't be irritating about it. Don't be arrogant about it. But no harm in approaching someone. All they can say is no.
Do you have any regrets in life?
I got lots of regrets. That work-life balance, I think I could have managed it better.
But then maybe you wouldn't do the same.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a trade-off.
Yeah, that's a trade-off. I'd like to be a better golfer. I'm a lousy golfer. My best friend is really good now, and we both started together. That's a regret in life. I wanted to be in the Olympics. I wanted to win a gold medal in the Olympics. That's not going to happen. So yeah, I had lots of regrets because I had lots of dreams. It's okay to dream.
The thing is, some people say, okay, we see these successful examples like yourself, like you had a dream and you made it. But there are a lot of people who had a dream and they never made it, and no one knows about it.
But they tried. At least they tried and tried to do something. I hate people who criticize and comment and say you're an idiot, of which many people do say about me, but they never did anything in their own life. I like people who have done and criticize me, fine. I mean, it's a free world. You can criticize me whether you've done anything or not. Yeah. But I respect people who have done something. So I'd rather people go out there and do something than not do anything.
Looking back on these 22 years with AirAsia, what do you think the 3 biggest things that you've done that turn around the game?
I built a culture that I think is unsurmountable. We have an incredible culture, 21,000 staff, not one day of industrial actions, a happy workforce, a workforce that survived COVID. 2, we are a great branding and marketing company. My recent post where, it's crazy in my opinion, that I take my shirt off and have a massage, which I thought was a good thing that I could do, becomes a global phenomena, right? Memes are made of me. I'm on the national news of big TV stations around the world. We did something right. If I was a nobody, no one's going to mention me.
Yeah.
So I always look at the positive. I said, we built a great brand from a small country like Malaysia. We're globally known. And 3, I think, is we took a model from the West, and the West is a bastardized word, but Southwest and Ryanair, and brought it to Asia, put our own little twist on it, and transformed flying in Asia forever. After us, a lot of airlines came after us, right? Scoot, Lion, whatever, but that's all changed people's lives. Love me or hate me, I was one of the instruments of change. If I get hit by a bus tomorrow, and many people would like to drive that bus, I won't be remembered for how rich I was or how poor I was, or whether they like me or not. But I'll remember for leaving a legacy behind, that I was one of the founders of revolutionizing air travel. That's worth to me more than anything.
What's the meaning of life?
There is only one meaning. You're put on here to make a difference. Doesn't matter. Everyone has to go build an airline. You're making a difference. You're interviewing people that will entertain, educate, expose people. Do something that makes a difference. There's a reason people are born. Make the most of your life. So the meaning of life to me is making the most of your life. Yeah. Never feel sorry for yourself.
If you want to hear more stories of inspirational, fun and impactful people, watch the next video. I promise you will enjoy it. No, seriously, you will.